I was listening to one of my favorite tarot readers the other day, and she said trauma is sticky pain. And I just thought that was so brilliant. And she said, if you could get rid of it, it wouldn't be trauma. And I just want to talk about that. I want to expand upon that because it's so true. And she also said that you can't get rid of it, but you can learn how to carry it. I think that's the most basic but brilliant definition of trauma I've ever heard in my life. It's sticky pain that you can't get rid of, but you can learn how to carry. I feel like the people who can carry it well are like the brightest souls on earth, because so many people are traumatized and they just make it everybody else's problem. They don't carry it well. They become very reactive whenever they're triggered, and just because they trigger a pain that was already within us, it doesn't mean they caused it. I think the real question in that moment is, are they causing me the pain? Or is this a familiar pain that I've been feeling my entire life and they're just triggering the wound? Trauma is like a wound. It's like a scar we carry within our hearts. It never fully heals. There's always that tenderness. There's always that point of pain. Somebody in our outside world can so easily trigger that. They just touch it wrong and it hurts, right? They just touch it wrong and we feel that pain all over again. And that's what's called being triggered, because they're not causing the pain, they're touching a sore spot. And I think when learning to carry our trauma well, hopefully not getting so triggered by the outside world, becoming familiar with our triggers, because if you know your triggers, if you know where the pain is coming from, you stop making it everyone else's problem, because they're not doing anything to you. It's just like it's a sore spot, right? Like it's something within you. It was a sore spot to begin with, so it's not like they did something to hurt us. It's like they're just reminding us of where we were hurt in the past. It's like the pain makes us time travel and stuff. One of the tricks I've learned in carrying my trauma and not making it everyone else's problem is learning to sit with pain, like learning to sit with discomfort, because that's what pain is. It's discomfort. It's uncomfortable. It feels bad. Sometimes it feels painful in the body. I've had many times where my heart will physically ache and hurt. I think we've all experienced a broken heart, like you know what I'm talking about. But with trauma, it's more easily triggered, let's say. Instead of saying like, okay, you triggered this in me and now you're the problem and I'm going to make it your problem. Instead of going like that, like if we can just sit back and just sit with the discomfort for a minute and be like, yeah, okay, thanks for reminding me. This is still a sore spot that I have. Just that, night and day difference. Because when we keep reacting to the pain and responding to the pain, it's almost like we're reacting and responding to memories. But then they start looping around in the present. Because as soon as we become reactive, as soon as we become aggressive, then the other person reacts to that. So it's like it's just repeating it all over and over again. You can't come from a place of reactivity or anger, or like you can't come from that place of reactivity and manifest a positive, loving reaction from the person in front of you. It's just like it adds pain on top of pain on top of pain. That's why it's kind of important to like just learn how to sit with our own pain. And this is something my favorite tarot reader also talks about. She says, our emotions are our own problem. Nobody else is responsible for your emotions but yourself. Like it is our job to regulate that. The only thing, she says, that other people are responsible for is the emotion of confusion. Like if somebody creates confusion in you, that's kind of their responsibility to clarify, because they can. But anything other than that, like unless somebody's causing you direct harm, in which case, move away, get away from them. Like if somebody's abusing you, get the fuck away from them. But other than that, the emotions other people trigger in us is not their issue. It's ours. Like it's our stuff to deal with. Like it's nobody else's problem but ours, basically. And when people become reactive, they become hostile because they don't recognize that sore spot, the trigger point. It just creates more difficulty in relationships. It starts to feel like walking on eggshells around people, trying not to trigger them and stuff like that. Time helps the scars heal, but also experiencing the opposite of what hurt you helps. Like if what hurt you was abandonment, experiencing more love and connection helps heal that wound, right? Over time. But it's really difficult to experience that because everything triggers abandonment, right? Everything triggers that feeling of I'm all alone, because that's what trauma is. It's sticky pain. It coats your perception in that color. So if my trauma is abandonment, my perception is always going to be filtered through that. And so it becomes extremely difficult for me to experience a genuine love and caring connection. So then reality becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy, just repeating the same thing over and over again. And it's horrible. It sucks. It's like trauma gives you like a -10 starting point, and you have to just work your way back to 0 just to like get to baseline. And like, yeah, it's not fucking fair, but so many of us have gone through that. Like so many of us are traumatized. It's I'll just tell you, it's not a rare thing. Like so many of us have been traumatized. Just a lot of people are better able to disguise it or like have coping mechanisms that make it look like they're fine, but they're probably not. They're probably triggered just as much as you are. Maybe you're just more sensitive to it and self-aware, which is good. It's good to be self-aware. Again, like when you're not self-aware of your own wounds and your own trauma, you start projecting, you start projecting and making it everybody else's problem. That's what a lot of these people who are not self-aware do, and they become very difficult to handle in relationships. So I know it kind of sucks to be sensitive, but it's also a good thing because it really gives us the chance to be self-aware and not mess up our relationships. Whenever you can just take a step back and remember that this is not the reality of what I'm experiencing. This is just the sticky pain that I'm feeling over and over again. And when we can remind ourselves that, it's like, then there's a chance that this looping reality is going to stop at one point. It's going to stop being so painful, and the scars can heal. And it takes time. It takes patience and self-compassion and being very, very kind to ourselves, because, you know, when you're traumatized, the world most likely wasn't so kind to you. So you have to be extra gentle with yourself in order for that wound to heal. Like, it's amazing when people can do that and they can carry their trauma well, because then they stop the cycle of pain. Then they don't project it, and then they don't create more of it, and like it ends the cycle. Because if you can carry your own pain well, you're not going to create more pain in others. Because hurt people, right? It's like a cliche saying. But if you know how to carry your trauma, if you know how to carry your pain and not make it everybody else's problem, you're not going to create pain in others. That's healing. Not just for us, but for everybody else. You know? Like, that stops the cycle of abuse. When you know how to sit with pain, your own pain, it also by default teaches you how to sit with the pain of others, which is a very healing experience, because as you know, there's nothing worse than coming to somebody with a painful experience or an emotion and they try to make you feel better. Like, that's the fucking worst. Because in that moment, you just want to feel, you just want maybe a shoulder to cry on, just somebody to hold space, somebody to hold you, right? But if somebody goes ahead and tries to make you feel better, it's like rejecting your experience. It's like not wanting to participate with you in that experience. And it hurts. It's another form of abandonment in the end. It's like giving you the message, your emotions are not okay right now. Let's fix those emotions so that I can be with you. Yeah, that fucking hurts. So when you know how to sit with your own pain, you know how to sit with others who are going through pain without making it your problem, like without making it yours to fix, because you can't fix somebody else's emotions. But you can sit with them, you can hold space. You don't have to participate in their emotions. You don't have to feel their emotions for them, but that's called like hyper empathy. It's actually an issue. You don't want to do that. It's not good. It's good to have like your own energetic boundaries solid, right? You wouldn't go to somebody who has a cut on their arm and be like, okay, give me the razor. I know how you feel now. We're both bleeding. Like, no, you wouldn't do that. You would just kind of help them bandage it up and be like, it's okay. It's gonna pass. You're gonna be okay. So yeah, trauma is sticky pain. And if you could get rid of it, it wouldn't be trauma. Kind of sucks, not gonna lie. Kind of makes you feel like an alien or out of place, because most people can't relate to how you experience the world and how difficult it is to move through it. But I think it also makes the strongest people and some of the kindest people, because they know what it feels like. Most of the time, like if they're carrying their trauma well, they don't want anybody else to feel like the way they did. So it really makes the kindest people. But it can cause a lot of issues as well, like a lot of addictions and unhealthy coping mechanisms. It can create rage, reactivity, like all sorts of bad things. Because, yeah, pain is not easy to deal with. Physical or psychological or emotional, like pain is not easy to deal with. I think it's the number one thing that we have to learn how to do here, like in this physical dimension, is like learn how to deal with pain in every form. Learn how to deal with discomfort. Another thing that tarot reader said that I thought was brilliant. My gosh, you have to check her out. If you're resonating with any of this, like, go check her out. She's amazing. But she says that the level of discomfort you're willing to deal with in the present moment is directly proportional to the level of comfort you will experience in the future. If you are okay with experiencing discomfort right now in the moment, if you can be okay with that, you can create a greater level of comfort in the future. And it's so fucking true. Like, even in the simplest form, working out, let's say, it's gonna hurt in the moment, but if you can deal with the discomfort of it hurting in the moment, you're gonna build muscle. You're gonna be so much more comfortable for the rest of your life in a healthier body. Same thing with the emotional stuff. Like, if you can carry your pain, if you can just sit with it when you're triggered, let it pass through you, if you can deal with the discomfort in that moment, it's going to create so much more comfort for you in the future, because you're processing it, you're letting it heal, and you're not making it other people's problem, which is what makes it difficult to have healthy relationships with people. Like, the greatest gift, I said this in my previous video and I'll say it again, but like the greatest gift we can give each other in relationship is taking the time to heal our own pain and not making it the other person's responsibility to walk on eggshells to try not to trigger us or to try to heal our pain, because they can't. Realistically, nobody else can heal the pain of your past, and it's not their job to try to do so. It's their job to deal with their own pain. Like, we're all going through it, you know what I mean? It's not a sign of that they don't love you, it's just that we're literally all going through our own shit. So it's kind of unfair to expect somebody else to heal our pain. Like, it's not theirs to heal, it's ours to carry. It's not theirs to fix, it's ours to carry. So yeah, I think she's just brilliant. She channels pure gold. So if you want to go check her out, she's called the Grey Strega, which means witch in Italian. So maybe she's Italian. The Grey Witch. All the links will be in the description if you want to go check her out. She's amazing. She also does tarot readings. I know it sucks because most of our trauma is like we go through it alone, and all we want is for somebody else to be able to come in and save us from it. I know it sucks, especially like childhood trauma and stuff, because as a child, like all you wanted was somebody to come in and save you. Unfortunately, like it doesn't work that way in adulthood. Nobody can come in and save you from yourself. Nobody. They can be a good example. They can be a loving presence, but that's about the extent of it. And like, unfortunately, the more we need somebody else to fix our pain, the more we repel people, because it becomes their pain, like it becomes their problem, and then that's like an added load onto their plate, which is already probably full of their stuff. And like, what can they do? They just have to pull away. It's just self-preservation. It's logic, you know what I mean? We're here to enjoy each other as whole, healthy individuals. We're not here to like try to bandage each other and try to stop the bleeding, and then there's another wound and there's another wound, and we keep triggering each other and the wounds keep reopening, and it's like a mess. And then you can't enjoy each other because all you're doing is trying to help fix the other person who's just traumatized, who just has something from their past. Like, it's not happening in the present. You're not supposed to fix the wounds that you didn't cause in somebody. And if somebody creates a wound in you, most likely they will not be the person try to heal it. They need to just fuck off out of your life if they're creating a wound in you, you know what I mean? So that's why it's like important to be able to tell, is this person in my reality causing the wound, creating the wound, or are they just triggering the wound, which was already within me from my past? I think that's like the most important differentiation to make, is like, are they triggering the pain or are they causing the pain? Makes sense. Okay, I think that's about it. I'm gonna go now. I hope the lighting wasn't too weird, because I just realized like the sun was in my face like the whole time. But anyway, thanks for joining me. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and check out the gray strega right down below. And I'll see you in the next one.